Hello and welcome to another edition of Paranormal Activity and Mysterious Stories. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first one is a video from Reddit. Actually, the first two are videos from Reddit showing a couple UFOs. Let's see, this one is in Colombia, and this one is from a while back on 2018, but just recently was uploaded to Reddit. Let's see, I also have another video of some strange lights over New York. Yeah, over Utica, New York. And this is actually kind of a real low quality video, but it's still interesting. Let's see, I have an article about these Nazca mummies that they found. Yeah, this ancient mummy's DNA is only 30% similar to the human being, but 70% is non-human. Yeah, this thing actually, there are some scientists who are trying to say that these are humans. These are some kind of deformed humans. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Another article about, this is supposedly a photo of a real a real alien that was posted to 4chan. I'm not too sure about it, but it's out there. I don't know all the answers, so I can only present it to people, and you have to make your own decisions. Let's see, and then the last two are just articles about some UFO incidents. This is Roswell cover-up by 4-foot aliens, and this is actually from Richard Doty, but I have my thoughts about Richard Doty. And then last is a mysterious UFO crash and retrieval in the Kalahari Desert. It's just a cool article if you'd be interested in reading that. So let me get to the first one here. So like I said, this is from Reddit. Let me go full screen here. Yeah, I don't know why this fake UFO is down here, but yeah, you can definitely see this diamond-shaped object in the sky. Oh, I'm glad when they do things like that, so we get a sense of scale there. Oh, I think they lost. Oh, maybe it disappeared. Oh, there it is. Here's a plane. I think a plane is going to come and check it out. But anyways, let's get to the second video here. This was in Medellin, Colombia. And remember, folks, these sightings are not one-offs. These aren't things that are a rarity. UFO sightings are very common. And I believe that they're common because these UFOs are not coming from space. They're not coming from different dimensions. They're not coming from different galaxies. For sure, some of them are. Yes, no doubt. The amount of life that is out there, all the possibilities, yes, all of those are possible and most likely probable. Yes, there may be some coming from other dimensions, from other galaxies, but I believe the majority of the ones that we see on a regular basis are our neighbors. I believe that we are not the only sentient beings on this planet. I believe that the occupants or whoever's piloting or controlling all of these UFOs that we're seeing are being done by a species or a civilization that shares the planet with us. And I think that's like the big secret that the military doesn't want us to know. I think, for the longest, we've been being brainwashed to believe that, that they're visitors, when the reality is they're from here. But anyways, let's get to the second video here. Wow, that's kind of strange. But you know what? I can recall seeing other videos where they had UFOs mirroring each other up, top and bottom like that. Great. She moved out so we can get a sense of scale. Whoa, it came together.
UFO? Ha siktir. Çok kötü küfrediyorum. Bacağım titriyor. Bacağım titriyor. Çok kötü bacağım titriyor. Bu ne ya?
Wow, this video is almost 4 minutes long.
Çekiyorum. Elim ayağım titriyor şu an.
And you know what? And she's speaking some kind of like I do not recognize that language at all. So I have no idea where this was. But you know, let me stop this video here because it doesn't seem like let me go forward a little. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything other than just hanging out there. So, you know, for these type of videos, it's hard to say whether these are actually, you know, extraterrestrial crafts or it's, you know, they could just be some drones hanging out in the sky. Hard to say. Again, this was from 2018, and doesn't say anywhere down here where this was from. But anyways, let's go to this other video here. This was a mysterious UFO orb flying right overhead cars in New York. Now, this is from October 19th, so this is very recent. On 2 separate occasions, 3 orbs from which 2 of them flew right overhead a car, as well as a weird cluster of orbs, or maybe it was one giant UFO, were captured in the sky over New York. The first event occurred on October 14th, 2020, when a cluster of orbs, or maybe one giant UFO mothership, appeared in the sky over Syracuse, New York, reports. The lights all stayed together, hovering in one spot in the sky. The second event occurred on October 17th, 2020, when one big orb and a smaller white orb and a black orb appeared in the sky over Utica, New York. Then suddenly the smaller black orb and the big orb flew right overhead the car to leave the photographer horrified. All right, so let's see. Now, okay, now this is a YouTube video, so I can't play a lot of it or I'll get hit with copyright violations. Okay. Cluster of orbs or one giant orb? A cluster of orbs?
Weird. This is not normal at all.
That looks like one.
It's like
I think that cluster is one object, just with separate lights on the one object. And you know, this yellow light in the left, I'm sure that's just lens flare. Wow, let's get rid of this here. Yeah, that to me, I think all of this is one object hovering in the sky, and these are just lights that happen to be on the object. Yeah, this guy's just saying, yeah, it's very weird. Okay, and this seems like it's a different video. Oh, I see. Okay, so wait, let me. Whoa, did that thing just fly over his head? Oh yeah, I see this little black thing there. Yeah, that, wow, look at that thing just went right over his car. Let me stop that thing right there. And of course, I will leave the link in the description. You want to check that out. So let's see this article here. Turn this off here. This ancient mummy's DNA is only 30% similar to the human being, but 70% is non-human. As the title suggests, over 70% of this mummy's DNA is completely alien to the scientists that are currently testing it. Originally discovered around a cave from near the Nazca, Peru, this is by far one of the strangest discoveries as of yet, because even the top experts that would usually fight against us have come to agree with us that there's something overall extremely strange about this mummy. Jaime Maussan was the first journalist to report on it, as he talked about the whole discovery at the Ufology World Congress in Spain. Maussan talked about how the test originally took place at the Biotech Mole Laboratory and about how the results were shocking, to say the least, for everyone involved. An overarching 70% of the DNA was unknown to this very day, with 20% of this 70% being of bacterial origin and 80% of an alien origin from elsewhere. Again, scientists usually fight against this as much as they can, as they will always try their hardest to find a solution, even when there is none. But in this case, even the experts gave up and stated that there was no other explanation out there. Yeah, I've made a video about these guys, and yeah, there are scientists who are trying to convince us that that these are human. And again, you know, I'm still amazed at the number of people who refuse to accept verifiable facts because it would then force them to change their belief. See, I believe I'm a reasonable person. You present some facts to me, I'm going to change my belief. I don't. And again, I'm not. Of course, you know, I'm out here making these claims that that we share the planet with other species. And again, I'm not the first one. There are other people out there making it, but you know, I think those are pretty wild claims, and I think you got to have some balls to be able to come out in a public forum and say things like that. But you know what? That's the truth. And it's not something that I believe. It's something that I know. So anyways, let's get to this this photo here. Photo of real alien posted to 4chan. Yeah, whatever. You know what? Let me just take a look at this photo. That looks like, I think these are photos on Mars. That looks like a UFO on Mars. Oh yeah, that is. This is from Mars. You can see this object way out here, but let's get back to this photo here. Is this photo real? It's definitely a low quality image. I am going to say I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know, but the link will be in the description. You want to check it out. Let's get to this other article here. Roswell cover-up exposed. 4-foot aliens were still alive after UFO crashed in 1947. Retired U.S. Air Force Special Agent Richard Doyle claimed that the 4-foot aliens who have been recovered from the spacecraft after it crashed in Roswell in 1947 were still alive but heavily injured. Now, one thing that I've learned about Richard Doty is that, he even admits he was a counterintelligence agent. He worked for the government, and his job was to confuse people, was to provide researchers, people who were getting too close to the truth, with some, valid information, but he also always gave them ridiculous crap, BS information that if the person were to put it out, and then it would be, people then will later found out that that wasn't true, then that person would be discredited. And then, anytime, if they did ever reveal any truth, they could always go back and say, hey, this person said this and they were wrong. And, it's just an easier way to discredit actual researchers. But you just know that that's who Richard Doty is. He worked for the government, and his job was to confuse. And the reason why I know this is because I've heard people talk about he did it to Linda Moulton Howe. When Linda Moulton Howe was investigating cattle mutilations, he was the guy who was tasked with, providing Linda Moulton Howe or sending Linda Moulton Howe on a wild goose chase, basically. But anyways, let's see what some of this article says. The 1947 Roswell UFO crash incident is considered as one of the widely acknowledged UFO incidents in the history of flying saucer research. Many people still believe that it was the alien spaceship that crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, but the U.S. government covered up the whole incident, calling it a military program. In the 1980s, Richard served as a special agent for the United States Air Force Office of Special Investigations, based at Kirkland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That time, he used to look out for all kinds of hoaxes and the spread of fake information about UFOs and extraterrestrial-related news. No, he didn't look out for it. He provided fake information. According to him, he tried everything possible to keep away the civilians from the Roswell alien crashings. Yeah, by providing fake information to these people. But in 2017, Richard gave an interview during Netflix Unacknowledged series and admitted that UFOs did crash in Roswell in 1947. He also said the craft was egg-shaped, it was not saucer-shaped, and the interior did not have any levers. But there were also creatures found. He said that there were creatures about 4 feet tall in the spaceship. They had a human-like appearance. Richard claimed the aliens were heavily injured in the crash and were taken to Kirkland Air Force Base. Since then, no one has seen them and no one knows about their further fate. Besides, in May 2001, Richard broke his silence over his role at Kirkland Air Force Base during the 1990s. He gave evidence at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., telling that he had been involved in the alien investigations. He also revealed in the 2017 series that he had been a counterintelligence officer at the base. Richard also said that he had studied and planned visits of extraterrestrials to Earth. However, Richard claimed that the writer of the Unacknowledged series, Mark Pilkington, wrongly depicted his role in the film. You know, I have yet to see that film, so I don't know how he was depicted, but that's what I know about Richard Doty. You know, maybe he claims that he's a different person now, but if he's still getting a pension from the military, I wouldn't trust him. So let me get to this last article here. A mysterious UFO crash and retrieval in the Kalahari Desert. By far the most spectacular and intriguing of UFO reports are those cases in which one of these mysterious crafts has fallen from the heavens to come crashing down to Earth. Of course, the most well-known incident of this kind is the supposed UFO crash at Roswell, New Mexico, which is so famous that even people who have no knowledge of the UFO field have heard of it. Yet, it is by far not the only such case, and indeed UFO lore is littered with more obscure cases of alien spacecraft crashing in remote locations, the government coming in to whisk it all away, often alien bodies thrown into the mix as well, and of course government cover-ups. One such case that is perhaps even more obscure than most is the time fighter jets allegedly shot down a UFO over South Africa, after which it crashed into the Kalahari Desert and was confiscated to disappear into the mist of history. On May 7, 1989, at around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, a South African naval frigate off the coast of Cape Town allegedly radioed in a rather odd report to the Cape Town Naval Headquarters. They claimed that they had picked up an unidentified object on their radar that was moving very rapidly toward the mainland at an approximate speed of 5,746 nautical miles per hour, and other radar installations, including NORAD installations and D.F. Malan International Airport at Cape Town, were allegedly picking up the same thing. There were apparently efforts made to establish communications with the incoming object, but there was no response, and it then suddenly and abruptly changed course to shoot out over a remote area. In the meantime, visual confirmation was made, and it was described as looking like a silver disc. Well, again, that's, you know what, I'm going to end it right there. And if you want to continue to find out what happened, yeah, this is a long article. I'll leave a link in the description and you can check it out. But you know what? That's going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.